Hello, and welcome to a very exciting webinar that we've got running today with the fantastic Jayne Bowler. Hi, Amy. So thanks ever so much for joining us. I actually just had a quick look at who was attending, and we have an all-female ensemble today.
Oh, very nice.
Which is quite good. Ladies Club, mostly business owners of aesthetic clinics. So welcome everybody. It's great for you to join us today. My name's Hayley. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director at Lynton. If you've joined us before, then you'll know that these webinars are very informal. You can ask lots of questions as we go. Hi, Katie. So in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screens, or towards the top of your screens, you can post any questions that you like in there for Amy today, and we'll try and answer as many as we possibly can for you. And yeah, hi Sandy. Hi, thanks. Oh, I'm a man. We've got a man. I wonder if that's Ray. It just says RW, but it may be Ray, one of our customers.
Maybe.
So, well, what can I say, Amy? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know you and I have spoken a few times about your business so far and how you've taken it to where it is today. And I always find it fascinating to speak to you because you just have such authenticity and warmth, and the way that you're doing things is working really well. And I think that you've got some great insights to share with people. So thanks ever so much for joining us.
Oh, I am getting the notification, so I've got lots of people who follow me on Facebook.
Yeah,
today. That's
good. Good. So, Amy, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your background before you actually got into aesthetics, because you actually come from a marketing background, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So my background is advertising, marketing, PR and sales. And my career was up in London, what was originally called IPC Media. So I looked after the advertising for 65 national magazines, managing a team of 17 people. And towards the end of my career, because of how I developed people and my kind of passion for developing people and creating content and delivering results, I was then offered a role where I was a performance director for the whole of the business, which was fantastic. I then went on to maternity leave to have my little boy, and whilst I was on maternity leave, I was offered the chance to take redundancy. And it was quite a scary thing to be offered, but I kind of looked at it as an opportunity, because working in London, it isn't your typical 9 to 5 job, and having a small baby, I've always wanted to be a mum, so being a mum was my main priority. But yeah, I obviously still needed to earn money to pay for my mortgage and lifestyle and everything like that. So with my redundancy, I took it and I ran as fast as I could, because it was a lovely sum of money. And from there, I kind of then thought, what can I do where I can, be a mum, yet work around him and earn money. So I spent 6 months researching all the different industries, from beauty, permanent makeup, reflexology, and I kind of did lots of different spider diagrams on each treatment as such. And then I come across tattoo removal and hair removal. So I thought, yeah, that's good. I had a look at my local area to see if who was doing what, how are they doing, was there a market out there? Because I think it's great to have an idea, but you have to make sure, I think, that there's people out there that will run with that idea with you. And there were a couple of people already doing it in and around my area, but I thought, it wasn't so. With permanent makeup, it seemed that everybody was doing that, but with laser, I think now I realise, obviously, the expense of the machines probably would deter people from jumping into it quickly. So I obviously looked at the qualification, the time it would take for me to be qualified. Found a course that did both in northwest London, because Cheshire, you know, having a small baby, it was just too far to kind of come back then. But yes, I found a course, qualified. I then worked really close. Well, I found Verity at Toddington Clinic, so I think she's like Northampton, and we just got talking. We actually met on a hen do in Liverpool, and she said, "Oh, I've got a laser clinic." And she invited me to her clinic and kind of went from there, really. So then she introduced me to you guys, Lynton, and I never looked back. So Steve come to meet me, showed me like all of your platforms, machinery. I fell in love with the Lynton Lumina, which is obviously the multifunctional machine that does all of the treatments. I then cried for a little while when I decided to buy the machine. And I think if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have got myself into, you know, such a panic, because, you know, it is expensive, but it's the best thing I've ever bought. It is an investment, and it enables me to be as successful as I am because it delivers the results. And yeah, it's just fantastic. So obviously at the time, it was scary, and I thought, you know, what am I going to do? Because I had no beauty background, so my challenge was, you know, who's going to buy from me? I'm new, I've got no background, I'm just little old me. I didn't have nowhere to kind of base my business. So yeah, it took lots of planning and lots of research, and then once I had my qualification, my wonderful machine, I then found a location. So I've got a little clinic within a beauty salon and kind of set up there, really. And then I did absolutely everything possible to get my name out there. And yeah, so this is now my 3rd year.
Yeah. And how are you feeling? How are you coping in general now with the situation?
So initially back here, I think it was the 21st of March, I made the decision to close down, or I say temporarily pause the clinic, because I'm not going anywhere. You know, they say the setback, no, the comeback is as big as, or bigger than the setback. And at the time, it was a very emotional decision to make, because I felt like I was letting my clients down, because some of my clients, you know, really rely on me. They've got, you know, facial hair, you know, confidence issues. They come to me desperate for their treatment. So initially I felt that I was letting them down. But then in the same respect, I started the business for my son and for my family. So I then had to make the decision, well, actually I'm having to pause the clinic in order to protect my family, because obviously I see about, you know, between 12 and 15 people every day. So I didn't want a chance. And as much as we were using gloves, disinfecting the clinic after every client, hand wash, sanitizer, we had it all. But you just never know who you're going to come across.
You can't social distance in an aesthetic clinic, really, can you?
Yeah. So I cried when I had to make that decision, and it broke my heart. But it's what we have to do. We have to follow the government guidelines. I have to protect myself and my family, but equally have to protect my clients. So I have good days and bad days. I'm trying to homeschool my little, he's now 3, because he's due to start school in September. So having that pressure on my shoulders is difficult. I still have, I actually saw it from one of your previous webinars. You said about messaging every single client just to see like how they are, and I did that, and the clients absolutely loved it. They really appreciated my time to ask them about, you know, how they are. Hope you're staying safe. Got any questions in the meantime? And it went down. It was just fantastic. So yeah, it was good days and bad days, but I also always make sure that I'm keeping my social media up to scratch, looking at ways in which I can still build my community, still get inquiries. So I've got a list of people who are inquiring about treatments, and then when we reopen, I can then contact them and get them booked in for a consultation. So my social media at the moment is my key to ensuring my business is still going to be there when we reopen.
Yeah. And for social media, obviously your social media is incredibly powerful, because I think because you're very authentic in that. approach to it. Is that a strategic decision that you made, or has that just naturally evolved?
I think a bit of both. I think it's naturally evolved. I think when I first started the business, I was really worried about people not trusting me because I didn't have 25 years of beauty experience. I didn't have any beauty experience. So I think documenting my journey from the very beginning, to say, you know, this is who I am, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is yeah. Daddy should be downstairs, darling. Sorry. My other half actually took the day off today to look after my 3-year-old, and he's just walked through the door. So
he's doing a boy job on that one, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I think documenting my journey from the very beginning was really important because I felt that people needed to see me, needed to know who I am, why I was doing it, my struggles, my challenges, and I did a blog about me and who I am, and it went down so well.
I'm going to actually just show the audience that, if that's okay.
I was just honest from, I was just honest from the start.
I should be able to do this.
I see Mommy. Can you see Mommy on the screen?
So this is Amy Jayne's. Can you see that? Can you see? Yeah. So you've got here a selection of blogs. So for those of you watching at home, then I'd highly advise go and have a look at Amy Jayne's website and onto the blog page. And you really do put yourself into these blogs. Who knew that a machine could make you cry? It's probably my favourite one. And this is where, like, the content, it's not just writing blogs to educate people, it's about the content that you put in there and how you put yourself across, like you say, that builds an awful lot of trust with people.
I think as well, those ones are more for people who are just starting out because, it is a scary decision to make, but it is obviously a huge investment. But it's about that emotional journey as well. So you're excited, then you're investing in a machine. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? What's going to happen if it doesn't work? But I always do everything I can to make sure it does work. So I was doing it for my little boy, so I had to make sure it was going to work. But so the blogs, and again, blogs are quite challenging because some people say, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to say. And again, my vocabulary isn't fantastic. I didn't get, A stars in English, but I write from my heart. So I write it. I set myself a time limit because I think you can, write, delete. An hour later, you're still trying to write a blog. So I set myself an hour, and I just write everything down. I do kind of spell check, but I don't send it off for like a writer or a copywriter to then rewrite it and send it back, because then that's not me. So my blogs are literally from the heart, how I write, how I speak, and they go down really well because I think it's personal as well.
Blogs are extremely good for social media. So for those of you that aren't doing social media at the moment, then not social media, for search engine optimization. So all the words that you use in your blog are picked up by Google, and depending on how you add them onto your website, and they offer a great way to bump you up the search engine rankings as well. So they're very functional, as well as a good way to talk to your audience.
I set myself a little goal. I do try to do one blog a month. But sometimes those months run away with you, and you're like, oh my god, I haven't done a blog in 3 months. But and the thing is, I ask my clients as well, because my content is very much around what my clients or what my likers want. So now every kind of couple of months, I'll say to them, what do you want to see from my webpage or my social media? What blog content do you want me to write about? So they lead the way. So I did one last week about pigmentation, because I did a post and said, what blogs do you want me to write about? And somebody said about pigmentation and sunspots. So I thought, great, that's going to be my next blog. So I'm giving my clients what they want to read, and that way they're then more engaged with what I'm writing about, and then they're more likely to like it, comment on it, and share it. So definitely, if you're unsure on what to write with blogs. You know, ask your audience what it is that they want to read and see.
Mm-hmm. And I also got a good piece of advice from Richard Crawford Small, who's the founder of the Aesthetic Entrepreneurs, that said if you're struggling with a blog, then one of the things that you can do is, if you find it easier just to talk to people about a subject, then you can film a video.
Yeah.
And of course there's Facebook Lives, etc., various different forms that you can put your video across, and we'll go on to talk about those shortly. But if you do film a video, then you have an awful lot of content there which you can transcribe into a blog. And there's some great platforms. There's a platform called rev.com, and rev.com is a transcription service. So rather than you having to write out all of your video, you can just transcribe it and then turn that into a blog, turn it into social media posts, etc. So it can be quite time efficient if you do it that way. Right? If sitting down and writing is tricky for you, but you will stand in front of a client and talk about laser hair removal, no problem, then you know that's another way to do things. But yeah, I think the content in your blog posts is extremely authentic and real, and it really does put across your story. And I think that the word that you use there is trust.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something which I know you've said to me in the past, that one of the things that you feel is extremely important in your social media content is reviews. So just talk us through, Amy, how you use reviews for your business.
Yeah, so every person I speak to, I don't just kind of ask random people just to leave me a review. If somebody comes to me and says, you know, they've had a really, really good result after 1 or 2 sessions, it's changed their life, the process was actually not what they expected, it was much better, the fact that they really enjoyed having the free consultation. Anytime I get some positive feedback from a client, even if it's somebody I haven't treated but yet they found that I'm very helpful, I will just ask them, you know, as and when they've got a spare 5 minutes, would they mind putting a review together for me for my Facebook? Because again, I felt when I first started out, people needed to trust me in order to come and see me, in order to come and spend that amount of money with me. And that's, I mean, some people don't offer free consultations, but I do. And I think it's massively important for my business that, you know, it isn't just a one-off treatment. So people need to come and meet me and buy from me. So I always offer a free consultation and people love that. So any positive feedback I get, I always ask people to put it in a review for me to either put on Facebook or Google, because ultimately people buy from people. So if they hear it firsthand from somebody who's had that experience with me, that's what's going to bring people through the door. I've got one client in particular, she travels from northwest London, which is 1 hour and 40 minutes from her house to my clinic because I timed it. And she comes to me to have her brows removed. So the treatment's just under 10 minutes, I would say. But I book her out for a 30-minute appointment time because we have to fill out paperwork before, do the treatment, and then, you know, cool the area down. So it's a half an hour treatment. And then she travels straight back. And I looked at her when she filled out on her consultation form, Northwest London, and I said, there would be clinics from where you live to where I am that offer what I offer. And her first sentence that she said was, but nobody has got reviews like you've got them. So thanks to my reviews, she's travelled, 1 hour and 40 minutes for a half an hour treatment and then travelled back thanks to my reviews. I've also got somebody that travels down from Leeds every 6 weeks for her treatment, again because of my reviews. And people travel from all over to come and see me, so my reviews definitely help. And I think as well for me as well, because you know, when you're starting a business, you do generally get good days and bad days, challenging days, what the hell am I doing days, and sometimes when I'm having those down days, I do sit and read my reviews and it just boosts me again. You know, like, actually I am really good at what I do, people do like me, people do want to come and see me. So sometimes if I'm having those bad days, I do go back to my reviews and just have a look just what people think of me, and that sorts me out.
And I think a lot of us, like almost, you know, all good aesthetic clinics have patients that would give them reviews, but a lot of them aren't asking, and then when they are asking, perhaps aren't using them as effectively as they could be. So You put your reviews on your landing page on your website, don't you? So when you go onto your website, you have a testimonial section, so it's very clear and easy to see reviews straight away when people land on there. You also put written reviews onto your Instagram. So I've seen you actually just, you know, sort of write them onto an Instagram post. But you also ask your customers to do video reviews as well, and you have a few of those up. And is there a difference in engagement? Do you get a lot more engagement on certain posts than others?
I do get more engagement on video posts, and in general when you are posting on Facebook, it's really good to do a mixture of, you know, just text updates, video updates, live updates, because Facebook works by an algorithm. So the heavier the post, the better engagement and reach you will get. So I do try and just do a general mix. Videos are always a harder one, because again, it's having that it's being, I don't know, it's recording yourself and being that close up, and you don't want to mess up and you're not sure what to say. So videos are naturally harder because people shy behind a camera. But thankfully I do have a couple of clients that don't mind being in front of the camera, and we're quite happy to do a video review. But I just take whatever clients feel more comfortable with. And I've got an album on Facebook for all of my reviews, and sometimes I just kind of screenshot and post them, just so they're kind of like just little snapshots. And sometimes, you know, a lot of people worry about what content to post. Some people are like, oh, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to say. So if you're having a day where, oh, I haven't posted anything today, I'm not sure what to post, then just keep a couple of your reviews to one side, and then if you're having that moment, then you can just copy and paste one of your reviews onto your timeline. I do think it's important to post a couple of posts daily, because that's really important.
So how often are you posting, and on which platforms?
So I post across Facebook and Instagram. I do have a Twitter account personally and for the business, but I don't really use Twitter because each tweet has a kind of lifespan of about, I think it's about 40 seconds, because so many people are just constantly posting on Twitter. So I use Twitter more for my personal, to collaborate and engage with other people in business, but mainly for my business it's Facebook and Instagram. I post the same content on both platforms, but I do post them individually. So I post one post on Facebook, and then I'll do the same post but on Instagram. I don't actually link the two, because you can link the two. But again, Facebook and Instagram are really funny with the algorithm. So if you kind of cross them both together, it's like a lazy kind of way of posting. So I do two separate posts, same content but two separate posts.
So that increases the visibility, I take it, then, if you do them individually rather than copying one to the other.
Yeah, and my audiences is different as well. So Facebook is very much an older target audience. Instagram is much younger. So sometimes I post more on Facebook and less on Instagram. I do more kind of quotes and things like that on Instagram, because that's what the audience like to see. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram massively bring in lots and lots of inquiries.
So how have you been generating inquiries for your business whilst we've been in lockdown?
Okay, so I've actually generated more inquiries whilst I've been off than when I'm at work, and I think that's because my content has been different. I have, thanks to you guys, been following the 90-day content plan, and I think that's massively important to have some kind of plan. I don't normally do a 90-day plan. It's normally at the first day of each month I sit and I plan my business for the next month. I do have, I don't know if, where is it? I have a social media strategy book, which is at my absolute Bible. So if I'm ever overwhelmed with what's going on, or I'm a little bit unsure of what to post, I always go back to this book, because I set all of my goals, my, you know, how I'm going to deliver those goals, what content I'm going to post to get those goals, and all my notes and ideas is all stored in there. So I always, at the beginning of every month, plan for that month what I'm going to post. Sorry, I forgot what you.
Is that workbook something that other people can get access to?
Absolutely. So if you don't already, you need to follow Zoe Cairns' social media. This is a book that she creates and has made. It's actually the very first thing I bought with my business card like 3 years ago. So I've got one for each year of my business. Obviously we're in April now, but she did confirm yesterday that she has got a digital form as well. But I absolutely swear by it. Like I say, it keeps me focused, it makes me accountable. If I'm ever overwhelmed by content, Facebook, my day-to-day business, this then keeps me focused.
Do you want to just repeat, Amy, where people could get access to that from?
So her Facebook page is ZC Social Media, and there'll be details on there. She actually also does social media sessions every month. It's a free event that I go to, because although I've got a social media background, the algorithms of Facebook and Instagram change daily. So to make sure that I'm at the top of my game and I know everything there is about social media, I get it all from her social media events. She's absolutely fantastic. I remember going to one of her events thinking, I really want that lady to know who I am, and now we're like really good friends because we support each other and collaborate where we can. And yeah, she's a really good contact to have. So if you're not already, it's ZC Social Media.
ZC Social Media. What I can do is, everyone, is I can because you've registered, I have your email addresses, so I can just send you an email after this if you like, with the forwarding address, so everyone can get access. It sounds like a great thing. So the question was, and I'll ask you this one, and then we'll come into the audience questions, because there's a few. How are you generating inquiries now in lockdown?
That's it. Okay. So basically, I did a post. I'm actually having hair removal because I took on somebody in October, and I thought, why am I not using her to treat me? I'm probably the most hairiest of laser hair removal specialist there ever was. So once I took Lucy on board, we're now doing like my underarms, my bikini, and my lower legs. And I only had one session on my lower legs. I just happened to like look down at my legs. I was like, oh my God, I've only got, like, I can count how many hairs I had left after one session. So again, you know, it's people buying from people. So I put my legs on Facebook and said, you know, this is the result, absolutely fantastic. And on the bottom of each post, you can see how many people have engaged with that post. So how many likes you've had, how many comments you've had, and how many shares you've had. So basically what I then went and done, I mean, I don't pay really for advertising on Facebook, but now and again, I just happen to boost an ad or boost a post. So because my engagement was already so high on that post naturally, I've done a £10 boost on that post, and it reached over 13,500 people within 24 hours. And out of that one post, I got 11 inquiries that all want a price list and all want a consultation when I reopen. So yeah, I was really shocked with that. And then I done a
bit more detail about the boosting. I mean,
yeah,
how do you make sure that the money doesn't run away with you? Can you cap it? Can you target it to the audience?
Yeah, if I just bring up the post. So yeah, you can tailor your posts to whoever you want to go to. So for hair removal on the legs, I made sure that my audience, it wasn't male, because based on the people that come and see me, I don't have any male clients that want lower leg hair removal. So I just targeted my audience to be 20, I think I did 22 to 45 women in and around my local area. So you can target where you want your boosts or where you want your ads to be seen, because there's no point in just having a general audience, because somebody, you know, in Scotland isn't going to come down and have their legs done with me. So I'll just find it.
£10 is quite good for
11 inquiries. Yeah. And you can do it over like 4 days, 5 days, and it will give you how many people you can reach. Obviously you can reach a lot of people if you do it over 5 days, but I just thought, because I wasn't really doing much that day, I just wanted to monitor actually what £10 in 24 hours can get me. Here it is. So I don't know if you can see.
So that's my poster. Yeah.
So that's my post there. So I've just put 10, it says the post has been completed, so it tells me that it's been completed. It reached 12,672 people with what I'd already reached naturally. It reached 14,073 people, and I had 736 people engage with that post. So I had over 50 comments. I've got over 42 likes, and like I say, 11 inquiries. So actually £10, initially if you're just starting out, you might think £10 is quite a lot of money. I remember, you know, every pound is really important when you're first starting out. But I just thought, £10, it already had a good natural reach. I'll just see what it done for me. So I've done £10 on that. And then because I want to get an even kind of inquiries from hair removal and tattoo removal, I've also done another one, £10, on semi-permanent tattoo brows. And so far I've had 5 inquiries on that. So again, 5 inquiries on £10, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's more amazing now because obviously people are at home, they're not at work, they're on their phones. So like I say, I've never spent £10 in 24 hours previously and had 11 inquiries. So I know a lot of people, because I've been following lots of groups, are saying they're pausing their social media because, you know, people are not interested. But I actually think different. I think people are at home more, so they're on their phones more, looking at what they're going to do when, you know, the lockdown is over. So yeah, boosting posts at the moment for me is massive, and I've never had that many inquiries from a £10 ad before.
Okay, so we have what's the best way to boost, as Facebook won't let you do before and afters?
Yes, I have been in Facebook jail a few times. You just got to be, because that's my leg, that's probably why I was allowed to have that post. I think you've just got to be a little bit careful about what you post. Although I've just done one on brows, and it's somebody's brows.
What happens when they put you in Facebook jail?
It means you can't post anything for like 48 hours, and it literally drives me crazy because, you know, social media is what keeps my business, you know, going. So to be put in jail, I violated the conditions. To be fair, it was a bikini shot, so that's probably why. But yeah, I think if you don't, you've got to be careful about the wordings that you put as well. So if you do a post that says, you know, please share, please like, Facebook don't like that because you're forcing the algorithm to do something it doesn't naturally want to do. So for this one, I didn't say it was a before and after. Okay. It was just a general chat. I obviously brought in about lockdown, saying I think it's Thursday, so here's a throwback. Probably one of my greatest removal results so far. From thick black uneven brows back to natural, removing all of the ink apart from a tiny little bit on the right brow, which I reckon will have gone by the time I next see my client. And then I've just done a couple of hashtags. So I didn't put before and after, which is probably why it was allowed. So it's all just trial and error, really. Another good thing as well is you can kind of see if you've got the little insights button at the bottom there. So I'm a little bit addicted. It then tells you like your most engaging posts, what worked well. So then if I've got a really good engaging post, I will repost that on a Thursday doing the Throwback Thursday hashtag, because it's obviously what people want to see. So then I will use that to my advantage and repost that back on a Thursday. And it will tell you at the top, you know, how well your posts are engaging. So over the last 28 days, I'm up. The last 7 days, I'm up. Oh, and yesterday I was down. So I'll then have a look at my post and think, you know, was it because I didn't post enough? Or was it because the post I put on there yesterday just didn't reach a huge amount of people? But yeah,
do you always put a price on your boosted posts?
In terms of how much I spend?
I think that's what the question means. I'm not sure. Leanne, if you want to elaborate, or it could mean, do you put a price on the treatment, possibly?
Yeah, personally, again, some people do put price on their posts, some people don't. I personally don't, because I think if people are genuinely interested in your treatment or whatever you're posting, they'll then message you to say how much is it, and then that's when I give my price list, or I ask them what it is they're interested in. You want to get people into a flow of conversation. So if you just bombard, you know, £150 for lower legs or £65 for underarms, people are not going to contact you and ask you questions. So I always hold the price back, get people to message me to ask me what the price is, and then straight away they're in your inbox and you can start a nice flow of conversation, because you can ask, you know, what it is that they're interested in. Is it just lower legs that they're interested in? What colour is their hair? So you get that conversation, you get people buying into you. So yeah, I do hold back, and I don't think there's any price lists on my website either, because I want people to message me, because then I think if they start messaging you, it's already in their mind that they want the treatment.
And do you do any boosting on Instagram?
I don't, no. I do general posts, and then sometimes I do my live stories. But yeah, I think on some of them you might get the chance to boost, and it can go across Facebook and Instagram. But that isn't something that I've done. Like I say, I don't normally pay for advertising. I think the content that I put out there is already quite good.
Yeah.
Clients engage with the posts anyway. So yeah.
Let's talk about live video, because that is an area where, I mean, someone's mentioned it already here about the confidence to do that, and the things to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm, you know, scared of lives. I'm not gonna say I love lives, because you always think, you know, what's gonna go wrong? What if you say something wrong? What if you drop something? What if you do something? What about if your 3-year-old walks through the door? You know, I think live videos just enable people to know who you are. Don't worry about making a mistake, because everybody makes a mistake. It's a live video. People will half expect it. Just make a joke of it. I actually did a live consultation on Thursday evening, I think. I sat there, I set myself up, had my consultation forms. I thought Archie had gone to bed in the middle of a consultation, and in Archie walks. And I'm like, what are you doing? You should be in bed. But, you know, the next 5 comments were like, oh, your little boy's so cute, your little boy's so lovely. And then I'll go back to them and say, oh, thank you, we should have been in bed. So you've just got to chuck yourself into live videos. Facebook love live videos. You get really good engagement. It's a chance for people to ask you questions. And I mean, some lives I look at and I think, oh, I'd love to be like that. Other lives I look at and I think, oh, okay, I think you've just got to be you. And I think in your head, if you over plan it, I've got some dust in it. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I think if you think too much into it and you write and you plan, it then throws you off track. I think you've just got to press live and just go for it.
And how was that one? It was, because it's quite an interesting post, that. So if you want to have a look at Amy's Facebook page, you'll be able to have a look at this one. But this is a Facebook Live that you did, and the subject was the consultation. And you sort of took the consultation card and talked people through it. And that gives you the opportunity to talk about so many good things, you know, the benefits of the treatment, some of the side effects, you know, it shows how professional you are. So, you know, a really interesting bit of content for your audience. Did that engage well with people? Like, how many people do you have on a live typically?
Yeah, again, normally I get about 8 or 9 lives, because I think you have to work out what part of the day. So if you're going to do a live at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, your views are probably going to be quite low, because my target audience will be taking their children to school. They'll be on a school run, stuck in traffic, popping to the shop, so they won't be watching me then. If it's lunchtime between 12 and 2, I might see a spike in watchers because people are on lunch. I always let people know when I'm going to go live as well, because I think that's massively important. I'll do like, I'm going to go live at 6, and then at 12 I'm like, 6-hour countdown, and then an hour before, who's going to watch my live, because you want to, they say repeat something 3 times, because the first time people will think about it, then you're reminding them again, and then they'll look at, and then they'll watch you. So I always try to do something at least 3 times if I want people to watch me. And yeah, just work out your time. Is like, who is your target audience and your demographics, and when are they likely to be at home? So it might be like at 8 o'clock when they're sitting down to watch the soaps with a coffee. So I might go live at, you know, at 8, or I think the other day I did it at 7.
Do you give a subject? Do you say, tonight I'm going to be talking about pigmentation, and give a subject, or is it just an open Q&A?
Yeah, I think the day before or in the morning, because I didn't think, I needed confidence to go live. I thought, if I do it at 9 o'clock in the morning and say I'm going to go live later, I have to go live later. And I did a consultation, because you can kind of tailor your consultations around every treatment. So the consultation form that I use is obviously generic, and then I just tailor it depending on what treatment they're having done. So I did get a couple of people message me to say thank you so much for your consultation live. I've been thinking about hair removal for ages, but just not sure, quite apprehensive about coming to see anybody or see you. And so actually now I know what to expect. I'm looking forward to you reopening. So I think, because obviously it's you're looking at either a course of treatments, or, you know, lower legs at £150 per session, it can be quite expensive. So giving those people that chance to think about it, you know, it definitely goes in your favour. And I think if people are quite apprehensive, they might not come to see you, but if you give the people the option to come and see you free, that massively helps as well. Because it is a big decision to make. So I try to make my clients feel as comfortable as they can, so that when they come to make that decision, they know that it's the right one.
Okay, so it'd be interesting to know from the audience how many of you have started doing Facebook Lives yet, and who is perhaps thinking about it at the moment but hasn't taken that first step. So in the chat box or the Q&A, drop us some feedback on whether you've done this, and if anyone's done any Facebook Lives that have had particularly good engagement, then let us know. So Joanne said no, but I'm going to do one today. Good for you, Joanne. Good. Do you know what subject you're going to do that on? Thinking about it, not done it yet.
Oh, I love, and again, and so am I. It is really, really scary. A couple of the ladies, yeah, it is. And sometimes, you know, my friend wanted me to do a video testimonial for her the other day, and I was like, hi, I'm Amy. Oh no. Hi, I'm Amy. No. And I think if you just put too much pressure on yourself, like, you know, let the clients know, say, this is my first live. Please tell me what you think. What's your feedback? You know, how could I improve? You know, you want to deliver stuff that your clients want. And like I say, Archie walked in on my live the other day, but that's me. My clients are fully aware that I've got a 3-year-old, and some clients often ask me how he is. So the fact that he like walked in was quite funny. And you know, like I say, clients love that. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just think of something and just go with it. And then if you get people, even if you get some friends to like follow, like watch you and ask you a question, because I think when you get a question, you then are able to then answer that question, and it takes you out of that scary mindset.
That's a really good idea.
But Joanne, who I've just seen comment, I've actually got a little Facebook group. That's another thing as well. You know, communicate with people that are doing the same thing as you. Maybe not like your main competitor, you know, somebody quite close to you, but I've got a little Facebook group with Joanne. She's got a laser clinic and a Lynton customer in Cheltenham. I've got a lady in Scotland, a lady in Hawkhurst, Kent, and a lady in Westgate. So we're all laser therapists. We all see the same people, have the same challenges, and whenever we get those challenges, Kimberly, she's on there. So so we have a lovely little group, and our title is Taking Over the World. And you know, whenever we get a challenge or concern or just a little bit of, you know, confidence booster, we just put our you know, our feedback on there, and we work together as a little team, really. And yeah, Joanne always says, I'm scared of going live, but you've just got to do it. And I think once you do it once, you'll be absolutely fine. Like I say, I don't do it very often, but as and when I feel like I need a live, or I need to boost my engagement, or, you know, do something to boost my exposure, then I'll do a live.
And there are so many fascinating subjects to talk about. I think if you just think about your day-to-day activities and what you do, you know, if you do tattoo removal, people are really interested in how laser tattoo removal works. And that's such an interesting live to do for people. People want to know the different stages of hair growth, you know.
Even if you've got somebody in the clinic, as long as obviously you've got the goggles, to get somebody to film you having a treatment. So I went live the other day of having my underarms done, and I went networking that Friday, and all the guys were, oh my God, I've seen your armpits. And I really think, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it got me out there. And again, you just have a towel, and obviously you have your arm. Lucy did the live, and it went down really well. Again, the next kind of 5 inquiries that I got was all around hair removal for the underarms. I've been live, I went live while I did an Illumi facial, which again was fantastic, because if you say Illumi facial, people are like, what does that mean? And there's only so much you can say. So I think if people actually see it in action, the next thing, you know, handful of inquiries will all be around that. Around that topic, or carbon facial if you're doing carbon facials. If you're worried to do a live on a client, get somebody to do it on you, and then you're the model. But yeah, clients absolutely love live, but just work out where your timings are, who your audience is, and what's the best time to post
it. And how do you have a plan of how often you do it? Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Or are you going to plan to do it more now we're in lockdown? Or
I would like to do. Here we go. Hang on a second.
So for those of you that haven't done your Facebook lives, maybe now is the time to commit and say, enjoy. Either you can do it today and then enjoy your Easter weekend.
Yeah, I think everybody who's watching today, let's just all do a live, and just see how you get on. And once you've done it once, you'll think, you know what, that wasn't actually too bad. Some of them I can't watch back, because I do think I'm quite cringy sometimes. But yeah, I think you just got to do it. And people, you know, just do, if you haven't done one before, just do like an introduction. You know, hi, I'm Amy. I'm the face behind Amy Jayne Aesthetics. You know, especially if you've got clients, you know, are you all staying safe? Are you all taking care? Are you all looking after yourself? What are you doing on these lockdown days? And just get people. I think if you're asking questions, then you'll get people to engage with you.
So when we did our first webinars like this, we sort of covered the topic, and at the end I said, any questions? And there was just no questions.
Oh really?
And I wish I'd just written a few down myself, you know. But then as we've gone on, you sort of learn how you can get more interaction from your audience, then it does get easier, but having questions really makes a difference. So get some friendly people.
That's what I do,
with you, you know, friends and family members, and get them asking some questions that you'd want to answer, and just get that first one done, and get it out there into the ether.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's lots of questions coming through. That's good.
Yeah,
just work out timings.
That's what I would clients for a review. That's good. Great. And and it's not social media, but let's just talk briefly about your networking, because networking is a very traditional form of marketing. Not a lot of clinics use it, but you have used it very successfully. So just talk people through that.
Yeah, so again, when I first started the business, I needed to obviously get my name out there as quick as possible, and I just did everything I possibly could. So I did loads of leaflet drops. I dragged my friends and my mum out every day or every weekend, leaflet dropping. I went to every single networking event there possibly was in my local area, evening ones, breakfast ones, lunchtime ones, online ones, and I think I networked so much, to the point where I was a bit like, oh, I don't think I can do it anymore. And then as time went on, I now pick, out of all the ones I went to, there's only a handful of networking events that I go to. And some people do say, oh, why are you networking? And honestly, out of my three top bits of advice, networking is definitely in the top 3. Why? Because it's a huge network of people. 2, they've either been there, done that, getting there, they've had the challenges, they've had the knockbacks, they've had the bad feedback, they've had the good feedback. They're my team of people. So whenever I have a problem, a worry, a challenge, I will speak to those people in that networking room, and if they can't help me, they will know somebody who can help me. I don't go there for clients, I go there for me. And you know, there might be some clients that come out of it, or there might be somebody. I've got I spoke to a guy there, he runs the Wisdom Hospice, and he said, I can't help you. He said, but my sister-in-law, she runs a sunscreen cancer clinic. You would be fantastic to collaborate with. So from that meeting, I then went and met Screen Cancer UK, and now we have a really close relationship where we, you know, share and copy each other's content because it's relevant for both our audiences. And eventually we'll collaborate. When I've got my own clinic, we will collaborate a lot more closely because I'll have her in to treat my clients for moles and things like that. So if I didn't go to that networking event, I would never have met Screen Cancer UK. Cherie at oh god, I've got mind blank. Natural Definitions. I met her at networking because I just felt when I first went into the business, her name was everywhere, and I was like, how did you get out there? She said networking. And now she's one of my best friends, and whenever I need to have a cry, I'll phone her up, and yeah, she massively helps me and I help her as well. So networking, if you're not already networking, you need to get out there. And when
did you find out about the networking events near you?
So I think at the time I just Googled networking events, and then from there, you know, some people network for a living. I think every networking event I go to, there's certain people that are there every single time, and they live for networking. And you just pick up as you go along. There's someone that say to you, have you been to ABC networking? Have you been to MEBA networking, which is Mums in Business Association? I went to one, it was called, because I'm talking so much, I've got a bit of a mind blank. It's the last Wednesday of every month at the Bridgewood Manor in Chatham. Gary Johnson is his name. Oh God. Network Kent. How easy is that? Network Kent, last Wednesday of every month. And he was the very first person I met on my very first day I decided to network. And he was an absolute gem. He literally guided me. It's a bit one of those live moments where I just stand in the corner wishing somebody would come and talk to me. Yeah. He guided me into all of these lovely groups of people. And yeah, thanks to him, he got me my network confidence. And yeah, I owe it a lot to him. So I will always attend his networking sessions the last Wednesday of every month. So I think when you know,
councils do them, don't they? So I know we have Cheshire networking near us at Lynton. So if you have a look maybe at your local council, they have business support. They have a lot of business support groups typically, don't they? And good networking events and free educational stuff as well. So one of the other questions in here is sometimes the Facebook business platform is a bit overbearing. Did you use anything to learn how best to use it, or are there parts of it that you use the most?
So sorry, what was the net?
Yeah, so the reason I guess I sort of linked the two of those is because what I've noticed is that you can sign up to a lot of free education through your local council.
Yeah.
So I know that Cheshire Council does like free Facebook seminars, free Instagram seminars and things like that. So there's a question here just about the actual Facebook platform being a bit tricky and how do you even learn to use it?
Yeah.
I know that there's some resource access there through council and just free online YouTube videos and things like that. But how did you just learn through experience, or did you do a course in
Yeah, so I kind of knew the basics through my previous role, because I used to run social media platforms for businesses around the UK. Since then, like I said earlier, the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram change daily. So in order for me to keep on top of Facebook or know what's the next best thing, I attend Zoe Cairns's networking events. So again, if you haven't already connected with her, please do. Her Facebook page is ZC Social Media. Now, she does monthly free events, and each event is around a different topic. So it might be on Facebook Live, it might be Instagram stories, it might be growing your reach, knowing your audience. And she does, like I said, monthly ones that are completely free. I think they're on a Thursday, 2:30 till 4. And she also does individual training courses as well. So yeah, if you wanted an hour on Facebook, I would go to Zoe. We're looking at doing a YouTube channel currently, and I have no idea about YouTube. So once this lockdown is over, I will be having 2 hours with Zoe and her team on learning how to maximise YouTube. So yeah, if you have, I mean, again, Google it within your local area, but Zoe is massively amazing. Well, she's just amazing, and she, whenever I get a question on Facebook or Instagram, I will go to her, or I'll go to one of her classes. She's great.
And there are there's a number of different resources really available for that, isn't there, just to have a look at. I mean, I know that, I mean, I didn't know how to run a webinar, 3 weeks ago.
You're very good.
Like you say with YouTube, it's a new challenge, and it's a new thing, and now's just the time, isn't it? Now is the time to get on and crack on and learn about all these different opportunities that we have as businesses to improve our digital platform. So I was just asking whether or not there are any from Zoe. Does she do any of the courses online?
I think she does, yes. Okay. Yeah, she does.
Okay, yeah. I'll make sure I email everybody with a link to that page after this. So
yeah, I'll put you in touch with her as well, Hayley, if you want.
Yeah, that'd be
good.
So you mentioned earlier that there were sort of 3 things that you felt were the sort of the top tips or the keys to success. So yeah, would you walk us through those?
Yeah, so the first one, or one of the 3, is obviously networking. The second one is research. So never ever stop learning, whether that's industry news, if you've got any like aesthetics medicine magazines, get those delivered to you. Never stop reading. So my very first book was She Means Business. And it was absolutely fantastic because it was where I was in my journey of business. So that really helped. My one now, if you can see that. Yeah. 77 ways to get more customers. So I'm currently reading that at the moment. So definitely research, follow things on Twitter if you want kind of snippets of industry news or marketing news. So research, network, and my third one is collaboration. I can't stress enough how important it is to collaborate with people around you. Some of my business contacts have now become the bestest of friends. I've got one lady, if you follow my page, you'll notice that I do promote her quite a lot, is Nadia Dodds at Beauty Elite Permanent Makeup. She's done my brows. I'm doing her hair removal, but not only that, is we've both got the same mindset. We're both doing our businesses for the same reason. If I'm feeling a bit down, I'll message her and she'll say, right, by 3 o'clock, I want you to do this, 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 and this. And then if she's having another day, I'll say to her, right, Nads, I want you to get this over to me by 11 o'clock. We meet up once a month, every month, to plan our months together. We go live together. When I'm having treatments done at hers, I'll go live. When she's having treatments done with me, she'll go live. And if any of you are doing tattoo removal for brows, have a look at who your permanent makeup artists are in and around your area and collaborate, because people will come to me to have their brows removed. I will ask them, are they going to be getting them corrected anywhere else? Some people will say yes, which is fine. If they don't, I give them a permanent elite makeup leaflet. So they'll now go to NADS, and NADS will do them properly. Vice versa, people will go to her and say, can you cover my bad brows up? She'll say, no, you definitely need laser in order for me to redo them. She'll then give them an Amy Jayne Aesthetics leaflet. They'll send them to me. And then, it's taken us like 3 years. And as of this year, we have now collaborated so much so we're doing a brow masterclass. So it's a full day, and it'll be down at her studio down at the dockside. And we're going to have set times for people who want to come and have a one-to-one personally, or we're going to have an open kind of 2-hour slot where people can just come and meet us both at the same time, have a mini consultation with me about the removal of brows, have a mini consultation with her about having her brows redone. And straight away, through having that collaboration, we've now got another business, which is going to be a brow workshop. So massively collaborate. I get questions daily inquiries. Do I do Botox and fillers? The answer is no. Am I going to do any of that? No. Leave it to the experts. And that's why I collaborate with Tower at TD Aesthetics, because any inquiries I get go straight to her, and then she can then have my leaflets in her clinic, because then she can promote my hair removal or tattoo removal. So massively collaborate. And like I said, there are lots of people doing laser across the country. Collaborate with them as well, because you never know when you might need them. I think it's massively important. Competition is good. Some people say, oh, competitors this, competitors that, but I do believe having competition is good. It's healthy. There's enough people to go around, if obviously done professionally and properly. So yeah, have a look at who's out there and what they're offering, but definitely collaborate. I've also got a tattooist that I collaborate with. So if people want to have a cover up done, he'll refer everybody to me. I'll do a couple of sessions of laser. I then send them back to him. So we will work as a 3-way team. If I've got any clients that want a cover up done but don't know who to use, I'll refer them straight to him. So then there's leaflets again in both clinics. So yeah, collaborate is huge.
Well, there's a question here which is sort of along those lines, which is from Helen, who says that she follows many of your principles, for example, like doing the free consultations, etc. But how do you feel, Amy, about other people borrowing ideas and content from your social media?
I think whatever market you're in, you're going to get people that copy your social media. And, whatever business, beauty, hairdressers, there's lots and lots of competition out there. So I think, although I'm happy to share my ideas, if any of you want to have a conversation with me after this, please feel free to give me a call. I'm happy to share my tips and ideas, because everybody has to start somewhere. And I just think, as much as copying, you do have to find your own, like you said earlier on, your authenticity. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. You are going to get people that copy what you do or use what you do. But like I say, if it's done professionally, like beauty editor Katie, again, her content is fantastic. And sometimes she might post something that I think that's really, really good. And I'll message her and I'll say, Katie, and she's based in by Gatwick, so huge difference, so that we're not likely to cross the same client base. I'll message her and I'll say, Katie, that content or that post was fantastic. Would you mind if I used similar, or if I did this or did that? And she's like, absolutely, yeah, use it. And then I'll get a message if I do a post. I'll get a message and say, oh, Amy, I really, really like that post. Do you mind if I use it? Absolutely not. So I think if it's done professionally and nicely, then I think, I don't like to use the word copy, because I know people do copy, but I think you've just got to find your own way about doing it and doing it the right way. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think it does. And I think it's the right view to take on it. You can't let competition become a negative factor.
No. And some clients may use that. They might say, oh, well, her down the road is doing it for £10 cheaper, or I can get it on Groupon for £100 cheaper. Well, if you want to go cheaper, you go to that person down the road, or you go to Groupon. My prices are my prices, because I am who I am, and I'm confident that the machine I use is well worth the money that I'm charging. And then sometimes 6 months down the line, they'll come back to me and say, oh, you were right, I should have just come to you in the first place. So I think people will always, and again, it's that buying people buy from you. So if they like how you are and what you're delivering, they will come, they will come to you.
There's a couple of questions on YouTube, so I'll just run through those. Is it worth doing a YouTube channel if your patients are aged 45 to 65? I think so.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's like now the new, I think because everyone's on lockdown and bored, TikTok is the new thing to have. So I would love to have a TikTok channel for my business. I'm not sure how I'd make it work. So at the moment, I've just got a personal TikTok account, which, yeah, I'm trying to learn. And YouTube, like I say, it's not something that I've got currently. I think if you're doing like makeup tutorials or hair tutorials, I think you've got to make sure that the content that you're posting on YouTube is right. You wouldn't just put a random status up or a post up. It's got to be like tutorial video. So it could be a facial, it could be a carbon facial, it could be tattoo removal in action. So like I say, Zoe is the girl that I've gone to, and once we're out of lockdown, me and Lucy will be going to see Zoe to have a two.
So I think as well, YouTube is it. Even if you don't get an awful lot of people sat there watching your videos and subscribing to your videos, the thing about YouTube is Google likes it for SEO. So if you're if on most pages of your website you have a video that's actually in YouTube and it streams into your website, that really helps with your search engine optimization. So as long as the content is relevant, I don't think you need to worry too much about, is this a main channel of marketing for me? No, it's not. Instagram and Facebook, etc., is probably that right now for us in the clinic environment, but certainly YouTube helps, because what you can do is you do a video, it goes into YouTube, you can transcribe it again, and that can go into the description of the video. And again, all of the words that you use there, and if you're smart with it, you can make sure you put lots of keywords into that as well. So if you're talking about laser hair removal, Kent, or Raynham, you feed a lot, you use those words a lot in your video, and that will just feed into your SEO as well. So it can be quite useful from that perspective.
I think as well, for those people that are just starting out, don't feel you have to be on every platform straight away. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, because social platforms alone is a job in itself, and it can become quite overwhelming. So I think, like I say, I've been in the business, this is my 3rd year, and I've got a really good Facebook and Instagram page. I have got a little bit of exposure on Twitter, but it's not something like, I don't stress to have to put posts on Twitter every single day. If I get any TV coverage or any celebrity inquiries, then I might retweet some of those. So just choose, now 3 years on, and now I've got Lucy on board, YouTube will be the next kind of platform that I look to do for the SEO coverage. But yeah, don't feel you have to be on every single platform at the right time. Find your platform, be confident, and then slowly filter in different platforms where you feel your audience will be. If you don't feel that your audience will be on YouTube, then maybe don't put all of your attention to that. I think if it's for SEO, then yes, definitely, but don't feel you have to be on every platform every day.
If you do a Facebook Live, can you record it and upload it to YouTube?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So if you just Facebook Live and just make sure they all go up on.
Yeah, there is a setting on your phone that you'd need to do to say to record it. It wouldn't just automatically record. You do have to set that up.
And someone's just asking, do you send newsletters?
It's been on my to-do list for a very, very long time. It isn't something that I do currently know. I do have, since GDPR was brought in, I do obviously now have a little box on my consultation forms to make sure that people tick it if they want to receive like text alerts or newsletters. So I've got it all set up ready for when I do send newsletters. In my comeback plan, there is going to be a newsletter in there just to let everybody know that I'm back open. I'll do 2 newsletters, one for my current clients and then one for people that have inquired. I'll get their email address and send that out as well. I know it works I know it does work. I've got some people who I collaborate with that do send just a monthly newsletter. But again, I think you've got to make sure that the content, you've got enough content to make it worthwhile. Yeah. Whereas I'm so busy in and out of the clinic, I don't feel I've got enough time to dedicate to that just yet. So it's not something that I'm stressing about.
Fantastic. Okay. I think we've covered everybody's questions so far. If anyone's got any last minute questions, then now is the time to say.
I've got a couple of top tips that I can give people for Facebook.
Far away. Yeah.
So I've already mentioned about the insights, so just make sure that your posts are engaging. And what I would advise is when somebody comments on your post, always go back and reply to them individually. So and then maybe if you can, try and get a question in that reply, so then they reply back and then you reply, so you're getting that communication between your clients. Look at what goes well on your engaging posts and use those as a throwback Thursday. Only boost posts that are already have a high engagement. Yeah. Videos and lives work better, so please message me, all of you, so I can follow your pages and watch your lives later on today. Always reply back to your clients and make them memorable. Sometimes if somebody's replied like at 7 o'clock at night, I will reply back to them the next day, because then it will put your post back into their network, their news feed. So sometimes go back the next day and reply to some of them so it appears back in their news feed. Get reviews. Get people to check in. Now, this is always a difficult one. I did have a lady the other day that said, I'm so happy with my results. I said, would you mind checking in? And she said, I would check in, but my mum doesn't know I've got the tattoo, so I can't check in saying I'm getting it removed. So that's always good. Get people to check in where you can. For those of you who are just starting out, it's not about the number of likes. So if you've got a competitor that has got 10,000 likes and you've only got 1,200, don't get down about that. It's not about the number of likes, it's about the number of people who engage with your content. Okay, so get people to like, share and comment your page in a natural form. Don't push for likes, because that's not going to help your business. Another thing that you'll find if you was able to purchase this book is national days. So like it's like a calendar throughout each month, and obviously I can't use every single national day, but like in the past there's been like a national chocolate fudge cake day. Now all my clients would love chocolate fudge cake, so I actually got some fudge cake made and put my logo on the top. So for every client, if I knew I was having 7 clients in that day, I would get 7 fudge cakes, and each client would take one of those with them. National Cupcake Day, so I've had cupcakes made with my logo on the top. If I've had 9 people in that day, I'll get 9 cupcakes made. National Water Day, or Save Water, I think it is. I got bottles of water and I put my logo around the bottles of water, and obviously those of you who are doing tattoo removal knows how important it is to drink lots of water to help with the process. So I gave a bottle of water with my logo on to every single client in on that day. So yeah, use those national days to benefit you where you can. Tailor it.
It's not just you get the person to you give them the fudge cake, but then you get them to take a picture of themselves eating the cupcake and put
absolutely and like my young clients, they absolutely love that. They do like a boomerang on Instagram. Look what I've just got at Amy Jayne Aesthetics. Yeah. And I don't ask them to do that. That's just their mentality. Like if you get a freebie or if you get something that's different, they will naturally put it on Instagram. They won't put it on Facebook, but they'll put it on Instagram with a boomerang, or they'll tag you in. And so things like that is great for Instagram.
Getting exposure to thousands more people just with 9 cupcakes.
Yeah, that's it. And again, I know when you first start out, it is going to be a budget, but it will massively help, because for me, as much as the first impression is really, really important, for me, my last impression is also just as important, because I want people want to be memorable, and I want people to remember me. So if you're giving somebody a personalised cupcake with glitter on top, the first thing they're going to say to their friend when they see this, oh my God, look what I just got from my hair removal treatment. And they say, oh my God, that's fantastic. And so being memorable for me is huge, and I'd probably say that's probably one of my USPs, which is unique selling point, is to be memorable. Like, there's lots of people out there doing what I do, but it's what can I do that makes me different. And obviously with the run up to lockdown, COVID-19, people are obviously very washing their hands and very conscious about being clean. So I just went onto eBay and I got 50 little rose soaps made, coconut soaps. So for every client that come in for the week, I mean, I've still got some left at the clinic, but I think I must have given out about 30 little rose soaps. And again, went on Instagram, people going crazy about it. People said, you know, this is why I love you, because you just think about everybody else as well. You know, we're not just coming for a treatment, you think about us. So yeah, just some little like rose soaps I got made. I've also got some love hearts, you know, like the little love heart sweets.
Yeah,
I've got some of those in the clinic with, again, my logo around them. So anyone who's nervous about having their treatment done, I'll give them a little packet. They can either eat them whilst they're having their treatment done, because it's like a distraction, or they can take them away. So Joanne gives out heart chocolates. Yeah, it's just that extra lovely little touch to make you memorable. The other thing with Facebook is when you get people to check in, naturally your friends will see your check-in. They'll say, oh, what are you having done? Then the client will say, oh, I'm having hair removal done. Oh, what was that like? And before you know it, you've got a stream of conversation of all these people that are commenting on your client's check-in, and you're not having to do any of the work. And then you can just go in at the end and say, oh, if you'd like to come in for a free consultation, please feel free. So your clients actually do all the selling for you. And then you just go on and invite them all in for a free consultation. So check-ins are really, really good. Sorry, I feel like I've just been rambling on.
Everyone's still on here, so
oh, that's good. That's good. And I'm not going anywhere, so feel free to ask any more questions.
Well, it was really nice of you to offer to have a chat with people as well. So I know that many people will be interested in that. So if anyone's interested in maybe doing a one-to-one with Amy, having a bit of business coaching, because I know that that's something that you're open to, isn't it, Amy, offering some business coaching services?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, for those people who have just started out, you know, I do like a shadowing day as well. If you would like to come down and shadow me, obviously when we're out of lockdown, if you want to come down and shadow me in the clinic, I will always get my client's approval first, because it just means that you'll be sitting in the room whilst I'm doing the treatments. But you can have a look at like my setup, my paperwork, my booking system, my consumables that I use, and just basically how I manage the clinic on a day-to-day basis. So I also offer that as well.
Yeah.
So cool.
There's a question here, actually, I missed it. Do you use the same hashtags on Insta for each post?
No, again, you can get into Instagram jail, which again is I think you've just got to be a little bit clever with your hashtags. When I first started, I used to have like 20 hashtags for hair removal, 20 hashtags for Instagram, and I used to just copy and paste, but Instagram don't like that. So just change your hashtag, because it just shows you're being lazy if you're copying and pasting the same. So just be a little bit mindful when you're doing your hashtags and try and get them to be different each time. Having the odd one or two will be fine, but sometimes when you go into your Instagram, if you do hashtag and type in hair, have a look at what else is trending. So it might be hair of Instagram, it might be hair of 2020, it might be hair fashion, and then just choose some of the ones that are already trending, because that will obviously help with your exposure as well. So yeah, try and mix up some of your Instagrams. Obviously hashtag we use Lynton is a great one.
Yeah. Thank you. Hashtag we use Lynton is amazing, because you've got 1,000 clinics across the country hashtagging we use Lynton, and the outreach that gets is fantastic. So somebody who's maybe thinking of having a treatment, they pick up on the hashtag we use Lynton, and then they will find you in their local area funnily enough, I interviewed somebody for a position, just an administration position in the office, like sales order processing. And partway through the interview, she said, well, I actually am aware of Lynton because I've had some Lynton tattoo removal. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah, well, you know, I was just I wanted to get my tattoo removed, so I was looking online and I was really researching who to do it with, and I was on Instagram and whatnot, and I came across Lynton, and I thought, all right, I need to find a clinic with a Lynton machine. So I did. I had a look at all the ones in my area, and then I went in and I've had my tattoo removed, and she just showed me and she got no tattoo left. I was like, wow, that's the power in motion of so many clinics using the same hashtag, kind of pushing that message out to consumers. So hashtag we use Lynton. It's a good one.
Yes, very powerful.
Right, Amy, you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of lockdown.
I will do.
I will enjoy seeing everybody's Facebook Live later today, which probably means I've got to do one as well, haven't I? So
So please, if you're still watching, drop me your business name, let me like your page, and I'll be one of your first viewers that will ask you a question to help you out. But yeah, just go for it, you'll be fine.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks ever so much.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. Bye, everyone.